was here. A small mistake, my mistake. And this demonetization. Think about that. Think about that. Think about it. Language, I think, is something magical. It's deeply connected with thinking, creating our environment. You can say something nice to someone and he's probably gonna be nice back. Or you can just be a total douchebag and, make everyone miserable and they're gonna be miserable back. And I think it's very interesting that this very old word of demonization is basically abbreviated from, or the other way around, demonetization. Sounds almost exactly like demonization, and I think in many cases it is exactly the same thing. I found that very interesting. I have no idea what it means. I mean, it's obvious what it means, and there's probably nothing to discuss in this video. I just thought it was very fun to discover that, because, and there are many quotes too. What was it? Like in the last season of Game of Thrones, I think there was a good quote. Not all was bad. Most of it was. It was terrible. It was terrible ending. But there was this quote in it where, what did he say? I'm gonna type. Oh, wait, I have to get this right. Game of Thrones quote. If you cut out tongue. No, if you. Not your. Oh, yeah, that's it. Hang on, it's loading. Yeah. If you cut out a man's tongue, you don't prove him a liar. You only prove that you're afraid of what he has to say. That's a very good quote. It's probably from the books. So, I get this whole advertisement thing, but it calls back to, obviously, as an advertiser, you don't want, let's say you're advertising for orange juice and you have the spot of a happy family, and it's early morning and they all have their sugar-coated, fermented, very unhealthy version of orange juice, and you want to make it look like it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. You don't want that video, that advertisement in front or in the middle or at the end of someone saying, and by the way, the Holocaust didn't happen, or whatever, something really, something insane, basically, and the Holocaust thing, man. If you really look into it, it's, man, I saw some clips from documentaries, and what's your point, man? Everyone who says oh, hey, it wasn't that bad. What I saw was fucking horrific. So, and and if it was just as one camp, but because of course, for the people who don't know, who never thought about how could there exist people that deny that the Nazis at the end of the Second World War made a big effort of destroying their eliminate all camps, and they didn't eliminate all the proof and the footage. So it's an insane statement to make, because in the end, what are you saying? Like, oh, they didn't kill millions of Jews, it was just a couple of 100,000. Like, what are we talking about here? Anyway, also that it's an interesting story to look into. There's a great documentary on Hulu called hang on. It's called The Meaning of Hitler. Very provocative title, but it's really, it's not provocative. They have a Holocaust denier, and I think they shed a good light on, how, honestly, the documentary doesn't answer many questions, but it poses a lot more, and makes a few assumptions here and there, but in the end, I thought it was very good, and, I thought of many of those points myself before I watched the documentary, which I was very proud of. For example, Hitler did, he tried to get into the art university. You can actually look at those pictures, which are also, I think, very interesting. Like, they're technically very good, I think. Just, they lack the art thing. Like, it's like an architect would draw, like, very precise and very focused on the splendor of buildings and stuff. I thought that was a very interesting look into his psyche. But for example, the people in the image were like nothing, basically, like really badly drawn, and bystanders, basically, like just the building was the thing that was important, and I thought that was interesting. Maybe there's of course there's a reason for that, but yeah, it made me think. And when he got into power, he actually erased a lot of his past, which I thought was an incredibly interesting point. He really wanted his, he worked he drew postcards, I think, or something like that, and made a somewhat like meager living with it. And he really, when he got into power, he wanted to destroy every trace of them. I thought that was so interesting that he wanted to completely eradicate his past self. All of that hope he had to become an artist, or to whatever the score was, that was the good person in him that wanted to do art. He wanted to stamp out completely. I thought that was so interesting, and sad, really, and in a weird way revealing. Like, you could talk endlessly about it, but where were we? Yeah, right, demonization and demonetization. Like, I think it's better to make your argument, make your insane argument, and then let someone else make the counter argument, and we should find the truth in that. And I think it's gonna be obvious. I think if you really let it ferment in the culture, it probably has to. It takes some time. It's probably not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna work any. It's like they did a research where people in America were, if you ask them how good a driver they think they are, like on the streets, like with a car, the people in America would say, well, I'm awesome, but everyone else sucks. And it would go down a little bit in Finland and stuff in Europe, but it was really low in Japan. And I think that's a cultural thing. Like, that makes sense. Like, they're more humble, and they're more introverted in a way, and probably more intelligent, and they look into themselves more. They probably doubt themselves more. They have their own issues, like the school system there is crazy, and they have suicide rates that go through the roof, and saying that's all good, but I think they make, I think they're less prone to this, oh, he has a loud voice, I'm gonna vote for him, you know, or like this demonization thing. If just because he has a loud voice doesn't mean he should be dangerous, or because he has a different view. I mean, of course, I get it. There are boundaries to that as well. You know, obviously, you can say outrageous stuff that obviously no one. You should be off the platform, or you know, if you like violence, or like if I remember actually in the early days of YouTube when I was a child, I was traumatized by some of the stuff I saw on YouTube, you know, because it wasn't regulated like that. So it's a good thing to a degree, you know. But I think we go overboard with it now, where we cut down conversations too early, or don't give enough leeway for someone to fuck up, you know. Or like this swearing thing. Why would I? I mean, I'm not monetized right now, but hey, we're gonna get there. And I'm actually interested to see how this is gonna go, because I swear so much, and you know, how's this? I don't know. I think that should be tolerated. Sorry, I'm getting hungry. I think that should be tolerated, depending on the context, you know, because all of my swears are for comedic purposes and just to let off steam. I think that's healthy. I think it's not good if you bubble that, if you know, keep it all up, and then, you know, if you have a straight thought and then you bend it around the corner and twist it, and I don't like that feeling. You know, if I want to say, you know, this is fucking stupid, I want to say that, and not like, oh, this isn't, this is, you know, that's basically already what, you know, this is, different word, not optimal. Like, I mean, that doesn't have the same impact. Come on, sometimes you gotta, you know, make a point, a statement. So, yeah, language, you know, really, it's beautiful. It can do so much, and it can be so fun and so liberating and inspiring. And I mean, when you think about it, it's basically all. I have this. Hang on, I got this. Where is it? I don't. Is it here? I have it somewhere. It's a dictionary of like the origins of words from the Indo-European roots, and there are a bunch of roots, but it's really interesting. Like I found, like, for example, the origin, and I have this from another channel, by the way. I got if you're into magic and stuff, I like, there are a bunch of great channels, and for one, like Esoterica, for example. Shout out, you know, as if they need a shout out from me, but or Foolish Fish, or I don't want to push you into that stuff if you don't want, but anyway, I got that from there, where that book recommendation and this parallel, that the origin of, I think it was a mystic or mystery, and the original meaning of that was to shut your mouth. I thought that was so interesting, like, because that's what you feel when you encounter a mystery. It feels like, I'm not going to even attempt it. You know, what's the purpose? It's a mystery, it's beautiful, and I have no clue how that happened, you know. That's so interesting how that, you know, language connects to a deep, or can connect to something deep, but it can also go as, like, completely insane and make no sense, like, you know, like this, I don't know, you know, malinformation, disinformation, misinformation, all of that stuff was, like, if I read those, what do you call it, explanations, you know, that, oh my god, I'm getting hungry. This is a hungry ASMR. I have to cook. I gotta, you know what, I'm gonna cook here and I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna do something with potatoes, but something healthy. I'm gonna put healthy stuff too in it. So, anyway, that was my ramble on that. See you in the next one.